It's a Sunday showdown in the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints hit the road to face the Carolina Panthers in a battle for division bragging rights. Quarterback Tyler Shuck and the Saints offense look to find their rhythm early, while the defense readies to shut down former #1 overall pick Panthers quarterback Bryce Young and breakout running back Rico Dowdle. We've got your preview, key matchups, and what it'll take for the black and gold to march out with a victory coming up next on NewOrleansSaints.com. Welcome into Saints Game Day, brought to you by Cutwater. I'm Erin Summers. The Saints are in Carolina to take on the Panthers for their first time this season. The game is at 12 o'clock on Fox. Next time that we'll see the Panthers will be Week 15. That is December 14th. So got to start off the two games against the Panthers with a W. And the Panthers come into this game 5-4. They started the season 1-3. They have gone on a little bit of a run here and are coming off a big win in Green Bay. It's going to be a tall task for the Saints going up against an improved Panthers defense without their #2 wide receiver and 3 starting offensive linemen. So for the Saints to have success, they have to establish their run game in order to take pressure off of quarterback Tyler Shuck and the receivers that will be stepping up in place of Rashid Shaheed. We'll see a lot more Devon Vele, Brandon Cooks, and Mason Tipton. Of course, could always see Taysom Hill as well. Dylan Radins moves in at left guard for Penning. Awesome Richards for Fuaga at right tackle. Luke Fortner will continue to fill in at center. Communication and working as one has to be a priority for the offensive line as they go up against a Panthers defensive line led by defensive tackle Derek Brown. Brown is great against the run and frequently demands double teams. Watch for cornerback J.C. Horn in the secondary. The Panthers have 7 interceptions on the season, and Horn has 3 of them. Defensively, while the Saints want to establish the run, they also want to stop the run. That has been the key for the Panthers all season. The Panthers are 5th in rushing yards per game, and we really need a stout performance against their running back, Rico Dowdle. He has 735 yards on the season, 4 scores on the ground. He's averaging 5.6 yards per carry and has 3 100-yard outings. So you got to win that battle up front. Players have to be taken down at the first point of contact to make sure that you're not allowing any extra yards after a catch or on those carries. Panthers have not allowed an opponent to score in the first quarter all season. So this would be a great time for the Saints to break that trend, to get out to a fast start. It will take a full 4 quarters, something that the team has talked about in the locker room this week. They have to put it together on all sides of the ball, play complementary football in order to get this win. Bryce Young has led the Panthers to 9 game-winning drives in his career. So, got to make sure that you start fast and you finish through the entire game. As far as special teams go, you want to look for wide receiver Dante Pettis to take over Shaheed's role in the kick return. Pettis won a competition in practice over cornerback Jaden Daniels and was elevated from the practice squad on Saturday. So we have a lot to watch for in this matchup, and because it is a division opponent, we are going to bring in my co-hosts to get their opinion on what will work against this Panthers team for the Saints to get a victory, and hear from head coach Kellen Moore as he previews what we can expect in this matchup.
All right, let's preview the Carolina Panthers. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, coming off a big win in Lambeau Field, which is never an easy place to play and win. And they're one of the least penalized teams in the NFL, so they've been doing all the little things, not beating themselves, and they're a tough physical team. So the Saints' advantage offensively versus their defense, I think you have to utilize the quick passing game. Carolina's defense is near the bottom of the league, 30th in the league against the quick passing game. I think there's advantages the Saints have. Juwan Johnson, Kamara versus their linebackers. I really think that's the advantage that the Saints have offensively versus their defense. And then you look just getting Alvin Kamara going. He's only averaging 59 yards per game. First time in his career he's under 85 yards per game. So more touches for 41 usually results in good things for the Saints. Got to find a way to get him more involved, not only in the run game, but in the passing game. Like I said, against their linebackers, there's a tremendous advantage there for the Saints. And then just getting some tempo offensively. You saw last week against the Rams right before halftime, the 2-minute drill went right down the field. Yes, the Rams are playing a lot of cover 2 prevent defense, but I think this offense operates better in that type of tempo, 2-minute tempo. and getting going a little bit. Offensively, I would avoid J.C. Hornside. He's a tremendous corner for the Carolina Panthers. I think he's a lockdown corner, one of the top corners in the NFL. So avoid that side of the field, but I think there's a lot of advantages. Jawan Johnson and Alvin Kamara in the middle of the field. Utilize the weakness of the Carolina Panthers defense, which is their linebackers. Saints defensively versus the Carolina Panthers offense. Bryce Young has been struggling. He's near the bottom of the league in QBR, yards per attempt. He's dinking and dunking. There's no doubt that they have 2 first-round picks at wide receiver. They put in a lot of capital into those positions, big-bodied receivers with McMillan out of Arizona was their first-round pick this year, and Leggett last year was out of South Carolina. So big guys on the outside. They just have not been able to get the passing game going, which is kind of curious because their running game is as good as there is in the league. I think the surprise and the talk of the NFL this year is Rico Dowdle. He signed a 1-year deal, undrafted out of South Carolina, first in the league in carries, yards per carry, and 10-plus yards. So he's an explosive player. He's had a lot of big games, took over for Chuba Hubbard, and it'll be interesting to see how they utilize that 1-2 punch because Rico was hurt a little bit after the last game with a quad injury, missed some practice time early in the week, so we'll see how that progresses throughout the game. But the one thing with Rico Dowdle is you have to contain him. He's the number 1 player in the league at the running back position at running outside the tackle, 7.1 yards per carry. So it's going to be on the defensive ends and outside linebackers, even safeties and nickel defense when they come down in the box to contain their running game. He wants to get outside the tackles. He's an explosive player. And I think you can contain him, make them run inside the tackles, and put this game on Bryce Young. Make Bryce Young beat you. Like I said, he's 30th in the league in QBR, yards per attempt. He's dinking and dunking down the field. So load the box, bring a safety down in there, get big on defense, and make Bryce Young beat you. Yes, he has 2 number 1 receivers on the outside, like I said, but I think you have to make him beat you because they're playing smart football, they're running the football, and they're hoping you make a mistake. And then in a game like this, in a low-scoring game, special teams comes to play. You have to hit the kicks when they're there, try to steal possession maybe in the punt game, but it's going to be hidden yardage in these types of games are huge. Returns are going to set up points, and points could be at a premium in this one.
The Saints back on the road Sunday against the Carolina Panthers. Let's talk about the recipe for success for that game. Number 1 is stopping the run. The Rams' Kyron Williams had his first 100-yard day of the season last week against the Saints. Meanwhile, Rico Dowdle of the Panthers ran for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Packers, and Green Bay came in with the number 3 rushing defense in the NFL. Dowdle currently 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards, and the Panthers' rushing offense as a whole is number 5 in the league. Meanwhile, their passing offense is 30th in the NFL. So it's clear the Saints have to stop the run and get the Panthers into passing situations. On offense, the Saints have to sustain drives. They ran just 51 offensive plays against the Rams. And if they're going to sustain drives, the offensive line plays a big part in that. Currently, the offensive line is second to last in run block win rate, and they're last in pass block win rate. That according to ESPN Analytics and NFL Next Gen Stats. The line has to open holes for the Saints running backs, and it has to protect Tyler Shough if the Saints are going to have any chance to get anything accomplished offensively. And thirdly, Saints have to reduce turnovers. We've been talking about that for the last few weeks. The Saints currently tied for second in giveaways this season with 14, 10 of them in the last 3 weeks. Saints currently -4 in turnover margin. That's the same as Carolina, so it's clear that Sunday, the team that takes care of the ball better gives itself the best chance to win.
Coach, with Tyler Shough getting his first start last week, what were some of the things that you saw from him that you'd like him to build on in this next game?
Yeah, I thought he operated really well, had good command of the offense, made some challenging throws downfield in some situations. I thought that was definitely stuff we can build on.
With the 2 trades that were made earlier this week, Rashid Shaheed being out with the wide receivers, who needs to step up or are you going to rely more on?
Yeah, obviously it's a great opportunity for some younger guys. Obviously, CO so heavily be involved. Cooksy's still there, and then Vele, Tip. Some of these younger guys are gonna have some big time opportunities.
With the offensive line, you've dealt with players being in and out. Trevor Penny now definitely out. A couple of injuries there as well. What's the focus have to be for them to continue to protect and then also be in the blocking schemes?
Yeah, communication is the first and foremost. It's 5 guys working together. And then just the physicality. We got to bring it. We got to get after it. Dylan, awesome. They've had opportunities to play in the past few weeks during the year, so they should be ready to go.
When you look at the run game and the fact that you haven't been able to really consistently establish that in a game, how much more do you want to get Alvin Kamara involved and going on Sunday?
Yeah, that's the key to this game. We got to run the football. These guys are going to run it. They've ran it well over the last month or so, and so we got to do it as well.
Yeah, you mentioned it. The Panthers like to run, and it starts with Rico Dowdle, who's been a surprise this season, dealing with a little bit of injuries this week, so not sure if he's able to go. But what would you like to see your defense get back to and stopping the run?
Yeah, what these guys are doing a good job. It's a physical run game, but they're breaking tackles, and we got to be a really good tackling team, and that's got to take the next step this week.
With Bryce Young, how have you seen him take a step forward this year and been able to lead some of these game-ending drives?
Yeah, they've done a nice job. They run the football, and then they put themselves in these situations to win football games, and he's done a nice job protecting the football and then taking advantage of the opportunities when they're there.
Mario Davis is coming off one of his highest tackle games of the season, 13, and he's 4th right now in the entire league in tackles. What does he do for you defensively?
Yeah, he's the leader of that group, and so he leads by example. His relentless effort, his physicality, the way he plays the game is everything you want.
Looking at special teams without Rashid, who are we looking for in the return game?
Yeah, great opportunities for Tip and a few other younger guys that will have that opportunity as we let this week progress, and so I feel like it'll be a great opportunity for some guys.
It's week 10, so we are over halfway through the season. How's it been for you, your first year as a head coach?
Yeah, it's been good. We have a great group here. Obviously, we're shooting for the ultimate goal, and we're not quite there, and we're working each and every day. And so I have all the confidence in these guys. We'll just keep going, and we'll get there.
Hey, you do get a break after this week. But what's the message going into this game against the Panthers, another division matchup?
Yeah, we're just locked in this week. This is a big-time opportunity. It's your second division game on the road. It'll be a lot of fun.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Taking a look at who is in and out in this one, the inactives for the Saints. Defensive back Ugo Amadi, cornerback Rajon Wright, offensive tackle Taliese Fuaga. As mentioned earlier, it will be Awesome Richards who moves in at right tackle for the Saints, and tight end Jack Stoll, defensive tackle John Ridgway, and defensive tackle Christian Boyd. A couple healthy scratches there, and players that we were watching that were questionable coming in are going to be able to play, namely running back Alvin Kamara. He has just been dealing with an ankle injury. It's more of a maintenance than anything, so looking for him to get going on the ground in today's game. For the Panthers, we were watching a couple players, wide receivers. Hunter Renfrow and Bryson Tremaine will be out, but Ted McMillan, their first-round draft pick, is available to go. Thanks so much for joining us for the Saints pregame show. We're going to be back afterwards. Of course, Scott Shanley will join me to break everything down in this matchup between the Saints and the Panthers. So tune in on Fox to watch the game and come right back here, NewOrleansSaints.com, for our Saints post-game show. Enjoy the game and go Saints.